small, it's relatively small number for what we are doing on a year-to-year basis.
The phase two is around $70,000 minus the rebates. We'll get, puts it in the 58 to 60,000 range.
59,360 based on your numbers, yeah. And then, as far as funding sources, we'll have to identify those at town meeting, whether some would be from the revolving fund, some of it would be from
Could we
trustees
put
of trust
together
funds.
an analysis that takes a look at the savings forecasted out over a typical bonding period of, let's say, 20 years, and, you know, show where, in fact, we've paid for the capital expenditure, so we can take a look at and analyze from a bonding point of view, you know, how this all fits together.
We actually, through Joe and John, we actually got that historical data for each building in town, and that's what task was gonna do, is take some of these savings and put it to the existing bills to kind of show the cumulative savings, which you could then
Because we have to,
extrapolate with debt
whatever
service.
we bond, we have to pay for, you know, and, we're now at 270, 138, $1,150,000, you know, we're on a spending spree, and we don't have the resources to pay all the bills, so.
I'm not so sure if we would bond this, though. I mean, if we have, with 70,000, net $59,000, and you've got 12 in the bank on the revolving fund coming
Yeah,
in,
but
and then
we've
you got
got
trustees
this-
of trust funds that may be able to contribute some. Now you're down to, you know, $40,000 or
What
something.
I'm
like
asking
that.
for is to take a look at all of this so we can put it together and create a model that says this is the right thing to do in terms of how we finance this whole
The other
thing.
thing is, we may want to bond it on a short-term basis and use the revolving fund to fund the bonding for a little while until the rebates build up, or the savings. And then, based on the savings, put the savings into the revolving fund to pay the bond over 5 years.
It'll take a couple weeks, we can put that kind of data.
You know,
together.
but that's another mechanism whereby spread it out, get the revolving fund built up in order to pay off these types of things.
You're suggesting, excuse me, you're suggesting putting the savings from
Some
The
of the
work
savings from the, if that,
into
you know,
the
maybe,
revolving fund.
if it could be identified, some of the savings, you know, appropriation into this revolving fund, in addition to the rebates, in addition to what the trustees of trust funds might contribute. So if we're short $40,000, then you bond it. And as we accumulate more rebates, we'll be able to pay off the bonding, and with the savings, we can pay ourselves back in the revolving fund and pay it off.
I'd like to run the numbers before.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money, you know, but every dollar
isn't.
counts.
with the savings in.
I think what's more important is to take a look at the savings when they kick in and see how that, over the long haul, can sustain the program. The rebates are small because we belong to Reading Light. It's, you know, we're not getting the same kind of rebates we would if we were part of North Star.
No, but it's the seed money we need to.
Okay. Any other questions for these gentlemen? What are the wishes of
Thank you.
the board on this project at this point?
I would recommend that we approve for this warrant article to be included in the April town meeting.
Well, the article, I think, is going to be included. The question
already-
is, are we recommending it or not?
I think it's a program that we have to find funding sources for. Particularly the way that they're phasing it in. I think we should do at least phase 2. Payback is pretty quick, and the upfront cost is not a lot. Again, granted, we have to find the funding source for it, but again, I think the funding source is obviously under
No, what are the wishes of the
under
board at this point?
$50,000.
Do you have someone want to make a motion?
I'll move to recommend, and then
We'll hear a second.
and as a caveat, instruct the administration to come up with a funding plan for us to make it fit.
I would second that.
Okay, motion by Mr. O'Leary, seconded by Mr. Yule. All in favor?
Aye.
Can we discuss?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Speak up,
Just,
please.
Don't be shy.
No, I'm not. Can I just ask why the wording of the article has to borrow up to $150,000 if this project phase is $70,000?
At the time I was writing it, we hadn't come up with the recommended projects.
Okay.
So it was just a straw man.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah. So for the warrant, particular warrant, let's change it to 70,000. Can we do that, Greg?
We can put in a sum of money, which allows us some flexibility.
But just for adequate notification to the general public, I don't think we're about to embrace phase 3 yet, until we find out what happens with the schools.
Right.
So
Right.
adequate notification to the general public would be $70,000.
Change the amount to $70,000?
Okay. Done.
Okay, in the motion, Steve, 70,000?
Yep. Motion to
All in
approve.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Unanimous. Next article.
Was that a
I
no?
don't know.
Who
Yeah,
said no?
I did.
Okay. Motion is 4 to 1. Next article, transfer funds to solid waste stabilization fund.
There's a placeholder.
This is a placeholder, and this is related to adding money to the fund from the Neswick Fund to fund the potential deficit in the waste.
That's actually, we've got another article for that. This is if we were to have a surplus in this fiscal year, which is unlikely. We would take that surplus and
Transfer
throw it in.
into rather than out of.
Yeah, I'll get into the shortfall.
So
in
this
the
is a
other article.
placeholder right now?
It is.
We move to recommended town meeting.
Second.
Motion by Mr. O'Leary, second by Mr. Delaney, all in favor?
Aye.
And last article for the regular meeting is appropriate money to the stabilization fund, and that recommendation, I think, will be made at town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, just a question. If we wanted to take money out of the stabilization fund for the purposes of, that we had tucked away, to deal with snow and ice, these articles that we may want to do that, appropriate to make that motion?
Yeah, we're okay, actually. There's a couple of articles on the special town meeting that allow us to do that.
Okay,
And
gotta get through that too.
if you would visit those and then allow me to go back and do a revisit on the 32B, section 18.
Can I just ask one question? Did we do that recommended town meeting on the capital stabilization fund? Yeah, we did the solid waste one.
We did so, yeah, there's one more in the back, right?
The third to the last one here. Transfer funds to capital stabilization fund. Did we vote on that one?
Yeah,
Oh,
We
no,
did? I don't think
no,
We
it's a
missed one.
placeholder, recommended
Oh.
town
The
meeting.
recommended town meeting, but did we
Yeah.
vote to recommended town meeting? I don't think,
we missed one.
I think we missed it. We missed it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we
I
did.
agree, we missed it.
Maybe our secretary can help us.
I think
No,
we
we
did.
didn't vote on
We
it.
missed the
I
last
think I
one.
skipped it.
Last one, we do not have that, we missed it.
No, but
There's
the
one
third
cop-
from the end,
I think,
We did that one.
We did that one.
Recommended town meeting, placeholder, correct? Is this the one that we're,
right, but did we vote on it?
yes, Mr. O, Mr.
Well, I didn't follow it, I thought we missed the last one.
We did miss the last one.
Okay. I moved on the last one then, too.
Second.
Are we voting on that, Bob?
maybe what we
All in
should have
favor?
done was I should have numbered these when we started.
Yeah.
Which one?
The last one.
Last one.
There's a motion
Appropriate money
seconded.
to the stabilization fund.
Right. There's a motion seconded.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I hope.
All right, and we have a special town meeting on April 5th, which is to cover actions required to balance or adjust the current 2010 budget. Article 1 is a budget amendment. Bill Conis?
Give me an opportunity to address it. We're gonna take out all the detail. You'll recall that there was previously a question raised at town meeting about latitude of the moderator when detail is provided. So what we're gonna do is have an article that, as is the top piece of it, without any additional explanation below the sponsor. There are a couple of needs that we have. I seem to have lost what they are. Bear with me for a second. Mr. Chairman, give me a second. I've been flipping a lot of paper tonight, and unfortunately, I flipped one into a pile that I can't find anymore. All right, I'm just gonna have to do it from,
You want to take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, if you'd allow me a couple seconds, because I've
Alright,
got to.
we'll take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Mr. Vino is looking.
Yeah, I was. I was
Just
gonna
his
ask.
makeup.
Call the session back to order, and Article 1 of the special town meeting.
So budget amendment, there are 2 items that we've identified as potential needs. One is supplemental funding for the solid waste budget in the amount of $41,500. The second is funding to supplement the elections budget. $17,000, which represents the cost of the special elections that were run back in December and January, for which the town was not reimbursed by the Commonwealth. Those are the 2 items that we've identified at this point that would be budget funding. There are maybe some other things that come up, but this early in the process, those are the 2 that we're really watching.
Now, on the
I
solid,
thought- Why weren't we reimbursed?
Right, I thought that was,
on the solid waste, first of all, that would be a transfer from the Neswick fund?
Right, it would be.
Okay. Which would leave, what's the balance in that fund right now?
About 100,000.
What have we done to try to get the state to pay that 17,000 that I thought they guaranteed payment on?
Just We submitted, the paperwork was submitted, and it's awaiting authorization